You're doing everything right. Your performance metrics are impeccable. Your reviews are glowing. But here's the catch. Something has already changed. It's subtle, but it's there. You're already a target. You still have your access, your title, but the real decisions, they're flowing around you now. The quiet, informal soundings, the ones that actually mean something, they've stopped coming your way. Instead, you're being watched. Not in a dramatic way, just observed, studied. This isn't a video about how to avoid this. It's too late for that. This is about learning to recognize the room you're already standing in. And it's not the boardroom. Let's be clear. This isn't a feeling. It's a position. One of these is now your reality. Here's the truth. You're under a microscope. Every win, every small success becomes a data point for them to analyze. You've given them the tools to predict your next move, and that's when you stop being an asset and start being a liability. 2, you're the go-to person for every existential problem, but that dependence comes with zero safety nets. You're essential until you're not. Or 3, you're being slowly, quietly disconnected from the information supply. The memos get shorter, the context disappears, you're last to know. This isn't about office politics. This is your structural position within the machine shifting. You're being reclassified from an asset to a liability. Here's how the machine does it. It's a 3-stage process. A silent audit. First, your visibility becomes your liability. Your talent got you noticed. Congratulations. Now that spotlight isn't for you, it's for them. To see everything. Think of the brilliant engineer in Silicon Valley, the rock star who builds something revolutionary. The system celebrates them while meticulously logging every line of unconventional code, every deviation from the standard tech stack. That brilliance isn't just output, it's a data set, a profile. Once your every move is traceable, every minor misstep becomes more than a mistake. It becomes a potential threat. The system doesn't care about intent. It's about fitting the model. If you don't fit, it's no longer about whether you're good, it's about whether you're too unpredictable. Your genius becomes evidence of your unpredictability. You're no longer an employee, you're a risk variable on a dashboard. Second, your reliability becomes your cage. You're good. No, you're indispensable. So who gets the impossible merger, the regulatory nightmare, the product on fire? You do. On Wall Street, it's the quant whose model is so accurate it defines the firm's entire risk appetite. The system stops asking if you can handle it. It assumes you must. You are now a structural load-bearing wall. Removing you would mean collapse, or so they think. This isn't a promotion, it's a conscription. Your capability is drafted into service, and the price is your freedom. Any attempt to step back, to do something different, is seen as a threat to stability. Your greatest strength just welded shut the door. Finally, the safety you feel is an illusion. It's just deferred payment. This is the cruel part. You hit all your goals. You solve the crisis. Things seem stable. You think you've earned security. Look at the history of European industrial giants. The engineer who leads the breakthrough project saves the company. Where are they a year later? Senior advisor, strategic fellow. A nicely framed title on a quiet floor. The system used your talent as an emergency patch. The crisis is over. Now the priority is returning to business as usual. And you, with your unique methods, your hard-won authority, your very ability to think differently, you are now a disruption to that calm, predictable state. The bill for your excellence doesn't come due immediately. It accrues interest. The interest is your growing incompatibility with the bland, predictable norm. and they cash it in precisely when you feel most secure. The machine is always running a simple calculation. Does the value you create outweigh the potential for instability you represent? The moment the second number looks bigger than the first, the process begins. No memo, no meeting, just logic. Here's the first thing you need to internalize. It's not personal. The system isn't rejecting you. It is shedding the role you occupy the moment that role is judged to carry more risk than reward. You are still smart. You are still capable. The machine just ran the numbers, and you lost. When this starts, your instinct will be to fight, to explain, to prove them wrong. That is fuel for the machine. It's more data proving you're volatile. Your only rational move is structural reset. Control the damage. You still have agency over three things. 1, control the narrative floor. Stop talking. Stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to prove your value. Every additional word is another variable for them to analyze. Silence is the only neutral action. 2, protect your story. Do not participate. Don't engage in postmortems. Don't try to rationalize the system's behavior for your colleagues. The moment you start explaining their logic, you've entered a game they designed. You will not win. 3, manage your label. Do everything in your power to avoid the official HR tags: high risk, difficult, maverick. Be impeccably, boringly compliant in all traceable actions. Don't stand out. The goal isn't to win. It's to avoid getting a permanent stamp that follows you forever. This isn't about winning back your old position. This is containment, preventing a local fire from burning down the whole house. Your mind will offer you comforting stories to cope. Reject them. The hero's return. One more big win will fix everything. No, it will make you a bigger target for one final exploitative mission before they discard you. The benevolent patron. Someone higher up will see the truth and intervene. Individuals are powerless against systemic logic. Their favor cannot override a risk algorithm. The justice narrative. The truth will come out. The system will correct itself. The system only corrects to restore its own equilibrium, not to deliver personal justice. Every inspiring comeback story you've ever heard, it's told by someone who got out. That's not a detail. It's the whole point. So what's left? The paths are few and they all have a price tag. Path A, play small. Blur the edges. Conform. Do exactly what's expected, nothing more. Become so predictable that no one even notices you. It's a quiet death, one that no one sees coming. Cost. The capability that defined you will atrophy. You trade your potential for a quiet, insignificant seat at the table. Path B, strategic diversion. Start quietly building bridges for your skills outside the current system. Not a dramatic exit, but a gradual rerouting of your value. Cost, uncertainty, the friction of starting anew, the awkward stage of being in two worlds at once. Path C, the waiting game. Pretend nothing is wrong. Keep doing what you've always done. Cost, this is the most expensive choice. You will pay in constant anxiety, wasted opportunity, and the certainty that the final decision will come on their terms, not yours. Staying has a cost. Leaving has a cost. Pretending you have a choice when you don't, that costs everything. Right now, you don't need a grand plan for the future. You need to stay in the game. But what happens when you've outlived your usefulness? How long can you keep playing by their rules before the game changes on you? You learn what a system truly is not when it rewards you, but when it defends itself. When you stop trying to impress it or defeat it, you finally see its true shape. And that shape operates on a simple, brutal rule. To a system designed for control, A predictable failure is always safer than an unpredictable talent. This brings us to the next, even more counterintuitive rule of survival, a rule that explains why, inside the machine, not fitting in is more dangerous than making a mistake. They can fix an error. What they can't tolerate is you playing by a different set of rules altogether.